Hanachi ni karigui, hokiagu ga wahanshana. What the verb means to do, make, or build. Learning objectives, particularly module, are we will be looking at the verb and its conjugations. We will be learning some basic ways to use it, and we will be learning a little more information on this versatile verb and how it may be used. Verb, kind of a lot in Hojik, and you're going to see examples of that in this video, how it can be used. Obviously, there's a lot to it. I had to kind of scale back what I was actually wanting to go over. Just it could have turned video, but I had to cut a lot of it out, what I originally wanted to go over. So I'm going to try to keep it real basic so that it doesn't get too confusing for you guys. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to conjugate the, remember, to do, to make, or to build. So third person, obviously, once again, is the base word, and that's where everything builds from. Another thing that I mentioned is if the first or one of your first videos, some of the things that we're going to cover in this video might be beyond, your knowledge of the language. So I would recommend going back and back at the older modules, particularly when talking tense, because we'll be going over some tense, past, present, future tense today. So first person conjugating u is going to be ha'u, ha'u. Second person is going to be sh'u, sh'u. Okay. The basics. Using by itself, done with using question words jagu, hatinja, etc. An example of this is pejega which would mean who did it. Pejega Also notice, just saying jagu also means why. It can mean why as well. So jagu, you're going to notice third person past tense jagu. That can also mean why, or it can also mean what did he do. So we'll get to that in just a minute. So looking at the chart on the bottom, we have the verb jagu. We have first, second, and third person on the left-hand side. On the top, going to the right, we have past, we have present, and we have the future tense on how to use this. Okay, so for the past tense, person, also when you're looking at this, you can probably pause this and add your own little chart of this so that you have it written down, because we're going to be using this later or looking at something similar a little bit later. So first person is going to be jagu ha'u. Not that you would really say that, but just for practice sake, what did I do? Maybe you might actually use that. Present tense, you're going to add the positional. Jagu ha'u haje, or jagu ha'u nang. What did I do, or what am I doing? I'm sorry. What am I doing as I'm standing here, or what am I doing as I'm sitting here? Those are the positionals that we're going to go over. Standing is haje, sitting is nunk. All right. So if you're going to make that a future tense sentence, you're just going to drop the positional. So you're not going to use the present tense. You're just going to say jagu ha'u shane. What am I going to do? So second person, jagush'u, what did you do? Now that's a question that might come up quite often in Ho-Chunk. Jagush'u, what did you do? Another question that might come up pretty often is jagush unaje, what are you doing as you're standing there, standing positional? Or jagush ushanank, what are you doing as you're sitting there? Another question that might come up is we're going to use your tense. So you drop the positional, leave that off there. Jagush unshane, what are you going to do? jagush umshene, what are you going to do? Third person, jagu, what did he do? Past tense, jagu, kunuga jagu, what did Kunu do? Kunuga jagu unje, what is Kunu doing? And Kunuga jagu unang, what is Kunu doing as he's sitting there? All right, now, once again, for fitness, we're going to drop the positional. And jagu unkshine, what is he or she going to do? Kunuga jagu unkshine, what is Kunu going to do? Okay, so some nouns use the word in their name. Knowing a few of these will help us use this for a little better. One example is waruch which could be a cook or a chef. Waruch So in occupation, if you are a cook or a chef, that's how you work occupation in Ho-Chunk. Another uses and the title is a construction worker or a carpenter. It literally means one that builds houses. You could probably be a little more specific for a construction worker. So more specifically, chi would be a carpenter. Okay, so I'm going to go over these sentences real quick. And then we have a couple more practice sentences that we're going to go over. So on the left hand, we have, on the left side, we have Kunu. On the right side, we have Hena. So it's Kunu made coffee. I'm not saying Kunu is going or made some coffee. I'm just saying Kunu made coffee, just real basic Ho-Chunk sentence. And then past tense, Hena made food. I guess just a general way of saying that Hena cooked, I guess. We have other words for cooked, but also at the same time, generally speaking, we can use this as well with we're going over. So the first example sentence on the left side, Kunuga nidashtak dahu Kunu made coffee. Kunuga nidashtak dahu All right. And on the right side, we have Hena. So we're going to once again use past tense. And I can't really see it, but let's share in the way it's. Okay, now I see. Hena waruch Hena made food, cooked. Although we do have another word for it, but generally speaking, you can use that. Hena ga waruch Okay. So finally, I have some more example sentences. So I have 3 of them on the slide here. So at this time, if you want to get the practice in, the video here, and we'll come back and we will see how you did. So go ahead and pause the video. Okay. So the first sentence, I am going to make food. So notice this is future tense. So if you think back onto the chart that we had at the beginning, how are we going to make this future tense? So the answer is I am going to make food. So just real basic. It doesn't, say when I'm going to do it. It's just I'm going to make food in the future. Second sentence is, are you going to make coffee? Once again, this is a future tense sentence. So it's going to be basically the same thing. If you remember your conjugation for the verb it shouldn't be too hard. Once again, the word for coffee is nidashtak dahu. So the answer here is nidashtak dahu shunshene. Nidashtak dahu shunshene. And then the final sentence is, I am making coffee. I am making coffee. So notice this is present tense. I am presently making coffee. So how are we going to make that present tense? The answer is the position. Nidashtak dahu haje. Nidashtak dahu ha'u haje. Or a seasoned speaker might say it, nidashtak dahu ha'wanje. Okay, like I said, there's a lot more that we could go over with this verb. I'm going to save that for another video just because this verb is very versatile. We can get into a lot more with it saying I'm going to make food for somebody, or I'm going to make myself some coffee, things like that. There's quite a bit that we could go over. So I'm going to leave it at that for now, and we will go over this verb this week. So that's it for this presentation. So, any check, Joey?